Is this from the Cullen Brown? This has got to be a burner. Welcome into Bears Now. This is our mailbag that we do once or twice a week. My name is Harrison Graham. Cullen Brown says, is Roschon Johnson or Kyle Monangai more likely to be RB2? Well, I know who Cullen wants, and that is Kyle Monangai. Listen, let's just face the facts. Last year was not a good year for Roschon Johnson. Now, was he used properly? Was the scheme an issue? You could point to a lot of things. One thing he was effective in was short yardage and goal line. He was really effective on picking up a yard to either get into the end zone or get a first down. Had 6 touchdowns on just 55 carries, but was very inefficient. Now, when a lot of your touches are in short yardage, that's going to bring your yards per carry down, so fair enough. But that rookie year where he was like the third running back on the left side of the screen was much more effective than last year when he was given the opportunity to be the second running back. Also, he's had either one, I think 2 concussions, though. I think he's had a concussion in each of his first 2 years. And when you're kind of a physical back, that can be a bit of an issue. So you've got that going on. Then you've got Monangai, who his last 2 years at Rutgers was very consistent, right? Similar workload each year, 5 yards per carry, 2,500 plus rushing yards, 21 rushing touchdowns. Wasn't used much as a pass catcher, but in the spring, early summertime for the Bears at OTAs and minicamp, reports out of OTAs is that he played pretty well catching the football in particular. So that gets me excited. You know, I think with both these guys, they're pads on guys. Like, they're physical players. Monangai's contact balance is elite. Roschon can lower the shoulder on you. So I'm excited to see how this goes. I mean, in a perfect world, Monangai would win it because you've just got the 4-year runway, right? You just have more time on that rookie contract where he doesn't cost a lot of money, but the better player will play. Could they add someone to the room? Certainly possible, but I think Roschon's got the inside track. He'll get the first opportunity to be RB2, but I think that's going to be a pretty healthy competition behind DeAndre Swift at running back. Who do you guys think RB2 is or is going to be? Type RJ for Roschon Johnson, KM for Kyle Monangai. Guess I would lean Roschon. I'm rooting for Monangai. I'm not rooting against Roschon. I just think it's kind of like Trapillo at left tackle. It's nothing against Braxton Jones, but if Trapillo wins it, well, you got a 4-year cheap contract runway at a premium position. That'd be nice to have. Super chat coming in from K. Beatty. Appreciate the 5. Trey Hendrickson for a third, but you pay him 3 for 100, or Shemar for a third on his rookie deal. Are you talking Shemar Stewart? So, like, which one would I rather do? I think that's what you're talking about. Unless you're talking about Shemar Turner, but they're not going to trade Shemar Turner. I think I would still do the Hendrickson one. If I'm trading the same capital, sure, Shemar Stewart will be a lot cheaper, and, you know, he just went in the first round, so to get him in the third 3 months later, that's good value. But I didn't think he was really a first-round prospect. I thought he was more of a day 2 guy just because he lacks a lot of polish. And B, even though 3 for 100's a decent coin, a third-round pick straight up for Trey Hendrickson, I think that's a pretty good deal for a guy who's got 35 sacks the past 2 years. He's only 30. It's not like he's 33. You could easily feel good about him for at least a couple more years, if not 3 or 4. So I think I would take that swing. If you could get Trey Hendrickson straight up for a third-round pick, give him 3 for 100 with, 85, 90 guaranteed, I think I would sign up for that. Corey Griffin, if Keenan isn't signed by camp, do you bring him back for vet minimum? I think the only scenario where you bring Keenan back is, well, a couple scenarios. One, there's an injury to one of your top couple of guys. If Rome or DJ were to go down and miss extensive time, I think you would consider bringing Keenan Allen in, a guy that Caleb Williams trusts. Or 2, Luther Burden and or Olamide Zaccheaus, like, you're not seeing a guy emerge as that third option. Like, Zaccheaus is, they like him, but he's really more of a fourth guy, and Burden just, maybe he's not picking it up fast enough. Maybe the reps he missed in OTAs and minicamp are playing a role. Maybe he's not mature enough. Who knows? I think those are the 2 outcomes. Notable injury, the guys after DJ and Rome, no one wants to take that third wide receiver job. Keenan's desperate, takes a cheap deal, comes back to be wide receiver 3. Don't think he'll be back, but I think those are potential scenarios where he would be back. Get yourself an FGB t-shirt today at chatsports.com/FGB. Link is in the comments and in the description. If you hate the Packers, this is the t-shirt for you. All right, DC Viper, who is a boom or bust rookie on the Bears roster who will hit and who will miss the mark? Shemar Turner fits that mold. You could throw Luther Burden in there. I think his talent exceeds bust, but is he locked? Is he going to be fully locked in? Now, I don't want to speak to that because I don't know him personally. He seemed pretty fired up when he spoke to the media about being here and playing with Caleb. And, I'm not selling my Luther Burden stock, but, he could fill that mold. It's a 7th-round pick, so, there's no real bust. But, I think there's a wide variance of outcomes for Kyle Monangai's career. I think there's a role where he kind of becomes like a fringe starter type where you pair him with a scat back, and that's a fun 1-2 punch. Or maybe he's just not good enough to play in the NFL. I mean, he's a 7th-round pick. So I think guys like that, it goes either way all the time. So those are a few. I think the Turner one stands out most to me because it feels like he's still learning to play defensive tackle. He's got the physical characteristics, though, to be a very, very good player. But sometimes guys have the athletic profile, but they just don't know how to play the game. Kind of like, not to this extent in terms of lack of production, but like Shemar Stewart in Cincinnati. It's like, is he ever going to be a good player? I don't know. We'll see. Cornelius, would you be interested in bringing DeMarcus Walker back? It's pretty interesting he hasn't signed. I mean, I'll tell you what. At the time, it felt weird when they cut him, but clearly it was a prototype issue. Dennis Allen didn't view him as a fit. You save $5.5 million, but if you can get him for the vet minimum, I mean, you tell me, DeMarcus Walker or Dominique Robinson? I will take DeMarcus Walker. Now, I get it. They like what they've seen out of Robinson. They drafted him a few years ago. Okay, but I'm trying to win this year. If Walker helps you do that, if he's willing to return on the vet minimum, he probably plays a decent amount. And by the way, he's got flex to kick inside too. I know you have a lot of bodies at D-tack. I know Dio Adengbo is going to do that also. But versatility, veteran, he's a leader type. He was one of the rah-rah guys before every game. So I think he'd be interested in coming back. So yeah, I mean, I'm shocked he is not signed with the team at this point. Subscribe to the channel. We bring you videos every single day throughout the Bears offseason, which is coming to an end. I mean, we're in July now, so before we know it, training camp will be here. Preseason game number 1 will be here, and we'll be off to the races. So this is the time to get in because we're going to only ramp up our coverage from here. So hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and we got you covered. It'll be a fun ride. Mike Nintendo Master, any player you excited to see play in the preseason? I mean, a bunch. I mean, I think all rookies, any rookie that plays, you're excited. I'm excited to see Caleb, assuming he plays. Ben Johnson was under Dan Campbell, who didn't play starters in the preseason, so we'll see what that approach is. But, Tyson, I'm excited to see play as well. Monangai, I think. I know I mentioned all rookies, but trying to think of non-rookies that stand out. Austin Booker, he had a big preseason last year. Can he have another one, and can that carry over? Let's see here. I don't know if they would put Jaquan Brisker out there in the preseason. I would guess probably not, unless they just want to expose him to contact just to kind of see how he reacts. A Tyreek Stevenson, Terrell Smith situation, any position that there's competition, I'm excited. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of guys that I'm curious about. Also, as excited as we are about the offensive line, the depth guys, who are the backups, especially on the interior? Obviously, you have a few tackles in the mix, with Amagaji, Trapillo, Braxton Jones. You got Darnell over at the right side. Is Ryan Bates healthy? Is he playing? Luke Newman's obviously a rookie, which we mentioned, but he's a guy they drafted late this year. Bill Murray, who I thought flashed some promise in limited snaps last year before a season-ending injury. So I think they do got to figure out their depth offensive linemen. Saquad's Barkley, would you trade Braxton if a 4th is on the table, if Ozzie beats him out, or keep him as a swing tackle? I do think you have to get at least a 4th because if it's a 5th or less, you could get a 5th or better potentially as a comp pick by letting them go this offseason in the free agency comp pick formula. So that could be a possibility. And B, I've said this before and I'll say it again. I don't think if you trade Braxton Jones, not only do you have to feel good about the guy replacing him, you have to feel good about the other guy too, because you need to have a good swing tackle. That's kind of the luxury of what you have right now. Even if, you feel you like a couple of the guys, like, that's a good thing because one of them can serve as a swing tackle this year. So if you trade Braxton Jones, let's say Ozzie Trapillo beats him out. Trapillo's your left tackle. Well, let's trade Braxton. Well, do you also feel good about Karan Amagashi? Because if the answer is no, and if there's not a decent offer for Braxton, well, I'd probably just keep him because I know what he brings to the table. High character guy. If he needs to play, he can be serviceable. So, yeah, I think you only trade Braxton Jones if A, the offer's better than expected, or B, you feel good about both other tackles he's competing with. Predict the Bears' record in 2025. How we feeling? 17 games, 10-7, 7-10, 1-16. Get your record prediction in there. Okay, Colton Steen. I love Cairo, but I think we should keep Jonathan Kim. We need a kicker with a bigger leg. Anything 50-plus, I get nervous if Santos will even reach the crossbars. Also, I'm a Michigan State fan, so might be biased. Well, Kim has a big leg. I think that's why they signed him. I also heard that Cairo had a tremendous OTAs and minicamp period. I will say this. The 50-plus thing in terms of, like, can he make those, it's exaggerated in the sense of, like, if they attempt them, he's almost certainly going to knock it through. The issue is there's certain games and wind patterns and in stadiums that, you might get in a game where you can't even try one from 56. And that's pretty rare in today's NFL. Most kickers on most teams at least have the leg to attempt anything inside 60. And in some cases, you're seeing now out to like 65. Brandon Aubrey obviously stands out there. I think that's still a little rare. But Cairo's a rare kicker where you're not trying many 56, 58 yarders. You're kind of like 54, 55 and N. Now, again, if he attempts it, he's usually going to make it. Last year from 50-plus, he was 8 for 9. But his long was only 54, and his career long is 55. So he does not have a big leg. If they line him up out there and it's not blocked, it is almost certainly going to go through. But it is kind of a pain in the ass when you get late into a game and shit, if we only get to the 40, 41 and we got to try 58, 59 yarders, probably not going to have the leg for it. Whereas, a guy like Brandon Aubrey, you're past midfield, you at least have a shot. So it's kind of a give and a take. I would call him a very good NFL kicker because he's very accurate. He's reliable when he does go out there. But you have limited range, and especially playing in cold weather and at Soldier Field, that can cost you points in certain situations. Inception Disc 9. What is the likelihood of Major Burns making the rotation? I'll just answer this, making the roster, the 53. I don't know, 30% chance. If you tell me they keep 5 safeties, I would say he's probably the favorite to be the 5th guy. Him and Tyshim Johnson as UDFA rookies. Could he, if they keep 4, could he knock out Elijah Hicks or Jonathan Owens? The key there would be special teams value. Hicks is a tremendous special teams player. Owens can play on special teams as well. Owens has a lot of starting experience at safety in the NFL. So, that has value. I would say among all the UDFAs, he's near the top of the list because this is a position that, this year has some question marks, but long-term has major questions as your top 4 are currently set to be free agents next year. All right, guys, appreciate all the questions. A lot of good ones today. If you have more, you know where to find me, at HGramNFL on Twitter and Instagram. DMs are wide open, so fire in there if you have more Bears, NFL, life questions. I'm ready to go, at HGramNFL.